come with that quote from Enzo Ferrari, who said it was the most beautiful car ever made. Suffice to say, the E-Type turns heads.
Cars. They're something we use basically every single day, and they're vital to the lives of people all over the world, and for good reason. But while most of us are okay with the cars that get us from A to B, there are many, many cars out there in the world right now that are meant to be the coolest things on the road. From their looks, to their features, to their top speeds, and so on. There are a lot of cool rides out there, so allow us to show you the top 8 coolest cars in the world. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Number 8. Chevrolet Corvette Stingray.
Also known as the C8. Fans of the Corvette, it seems, are finding this new design a bit hard to swallow.
Let's start with one of the most famous brands out there, Chevy. A mid-engine Chevy Corvette has been rumored for decades, and it's a reality for 2020. Carrying the famed Stingray moniker, it's the most aggressively styled Vette yet. And we say that because it looks freaking fierce. It comes with removable roof panels that can be stored in the forward-situated trunk. A 6.2-liter V8 engine sits behind the driver and resides beneath a car panel. It pumps 490 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels via an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. So not only does it drive fast, it hooks on a dime. The cockpit is driver-focused and features a pair of electronic display and no fewer than a dozen selectable driving modes, ensuring that you'll get exactly what you want from the experience. Seriously, how could you look at this ride and think, not cool? Exactly. This ride screams power, side, and excellence. But in a fun twist, you could get the ride for under $60,000. So it's a cool car that's honestly affordable. That doesn't happen very often, sadly. Number 7. McLaren F1.
It may be over a decade old, but it's still officially the fastest supercar in the world.
There are many reasons to make a cool car, but many car makers have decided that the best indicator of cool is speed. And when you think about supercars that have set records with their speed, most people think of the McLaren F1. So beloved is this car that it's still revered today as the first supercar, and models of it are still being made today. To be fair, the McLaren F1 didn't start the record for speed on a street or track, but it did beat it by 27 miles per hour when the McLaren F1 came out. Adding to that accomplishment, it took 12 years for another car to step up to the plate in order to try and beat it. That's impressive. Just as impressive is that the current model is one that is in use by many, mainly because it can go from 240 miles per hour. When it first came out, the McLaren F1 cost around $1 million, and now $10 million. But the payoff is that when you drive this slick car down the road, everyone is going to be turning heads because it's just that awesome and cool. Number 6. Pininfarina Battista.
Torn it to pieces with its teeth. To say this thing is slightly deranged might be a little bit of an understatement.
As a design studio, Pininfarina is a name associated with some of the most beautiful cars of the last 80 years, which if you really think about it, is quite the moniker. Now launched as a manufacturer in its own right, Automobile Pininfarina, its first ever car, is a 1900 horsepower all-electric hypercar, which will officially become the most powerful Italian road car ever made. Again, a very impressive moniker to have. The Battista will achieve a 0 to 62 mile per hour time of under 2 seconds, hit 0 to 186 miles per hour in less than 12 seconds, and achieve a top speed of 217 miles per hour. The Battista promises to marry its extreme performance with the feel and finish of a luxury Grand Tourer. There's a lot to like about this car, not the least of which is that all of this power and beauty is in an electric car, showing that car developers are making big moves with the electric car market. And according to reports, now that Pininfarina have this model out, they're going to be making SUVs and other models too, further extending their cool cars reach. Number 5. Ford Mustang Shelby GT500.
You might have some older friends and acquaintances who are into cars who are going to tell you that the golden age of muscle cars was the late 1960s.
Before we start, just look at the Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Admit it, you want to drive it, and you want to drive it now. The 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500 takes the original pony car to a new level of performance. A hand-built supercharged 5.2-liter V8 engine channels a whopping 760 horsepower and 625 pound-feet of torque through the rear wheels via a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Ford says it can make the sprint to 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. But don't worry, it can brake as well. In fact, they had to make some large brake pads in order to make it stop on a dime. The best part in our eyes, this cool car is made for those who want to take advantage of its power, mainly because it's only a 2-seater, so it's meant for the driver and a passenger who isn't afraid to go fast. You're still drooling over the car, aren't ya? Let's move on. Number 4. Jaguar E-Type.
Come with that quote from Enzo Ferrari, who said it was the most beautiful car ever made. Suffice to say, the E-Type turns heads.
If Enzo Ferrari says that your car is the most beautiful car ever made, then you must be doing something right. That was his remark when he saw the Jaguar E-Type at the 1961 Geneva Motor Show, which is where Jaguar revealed its new sports car for the first time. The Malcolm Sayer pen design is as distinctive today as it was when the E-Type was first revealed, with the curved nose, long bonnet, and tout rear end giving it a unique look that is clearly as cool as sports cars get. And in fact, while the line was made for 14 years, many car enthusiasts say that the original 1961 model was the best of the bunch of the very basic reason that it was perfect. Every model after it tried to improve or fix things, and it just ruined the look. So if you find one of these in the wild, respect it. It's a really cool car. Number 3. Lykan Hypersport. Cool cars come from anywhere in the world. Such is the case with the W Motors Lykan Hypersport. This epic vehicle was dubbed the first Arab supercar, and it's not hard to see why it's called that. It's sleek, powerful, fast, and yes, furious. That's right, this was one of the cars in the Fast and Furious series. Specifically, it was in Furious 7 when it was driven through skyscrapers, allowing it to get instant fame in the process. And let's be honest here, it would be famous just because of its look. It's stout, powerful, and when you go inside, you'll see literal diamonds and holograms. No joke. This is what you would call oozing cool. Number 2. Tesla Roadster. We may be cheating a little bit here, but there's little doubt that the Tesla Roadster is a really cool car in its own right. Not the least of which is because it comes from the mind of Elon Musk, who is trying very hard to try and save the world via his electric cars. But what gets lost in the shuffle is that these cars are built to be affordable, but still luxurious. They have sleek lines, a very luxurious interior, have a plethora of safety features, and can go for very long distances without a charge. There are even super luxury versions of the Roadster out there, should you have the money. But even the base model Roadster is pretty cool. Number 1. The Bullet Car. What's your favorite movie with a car in it? Many of you might say the Fast and Furious saga, given the power and speed of their very intricate car chases. But they were outdone decades before by a singular movie and a singular cool car. In 1968, the film Bullet was made, and the car that helped change the game was a 1968 Ford Mustang 390 GT 2+2 Fastback, which is now affectionately referred to solely as the Bullet car. But for those who don't know the car in the film, what was so special about them? The answer is simple. There was a 10-minute chase scene between the Mustang and a Charger. The chase was long, but most importantly, it was real. There was no special effects in the chase at all, and some of the more iconic moments featuring legendary actor Steve McQueen were actually mistakes. But he insisted that they stay because it felt real to do them. The car itself was prominently shown in the chase as you'd expect, and the green coloring of the car helped make it stand out from many other cars in the day. Fast forward to now, the actual Bullet car, which still exists and is owned privately, is revered by many. So much so that the Discovery Channel show Fast and Loud did a tribute to the car by remaking it in the 1968 style and recreating the chase scene with the help of Steve McQueen's son. What's more, Ford actually made a modern version of the Bullet car, complete with the same green coloring and the Steve McQueen branding. When you have such an impact that all that stuff happens, yeah, you're one cool car. So what do you think? What do you think of this look at cool cars that are out there in the world today? Which one of these cars would you personally love to drive? Which one speaks to you on a deep level and personal level? Which one are you jealous of in regards to people already owning and driving the cars? Do you have another cool car that should be on this list? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.